Welcome back to another episode of Pan's Picks. This is a show where I go through an NFL team's schedule and tell you the probability in which I think they're going to win week in and week out. At the end, I'm going to come up with a win total that I can compare with Vegas odds and also compare with our resident cat wrangler, Bill. Bill, how are you today?
I'm doing well.
How are the cats? Is it getting any easier out there?
It's a one thing always wrangling and herding cats.
Yeah. You use their fur for yarn and sweaters. Is that kind of like a sheep situation?
Yeah, there's a couple of them that we shave.
All right. Very good. Very good. What team do we have today?
Today we have the San Francisco 49ers, 10-7 last season and third in the brutal NFC West. Jimmy Garoppolo had 3,800 passing yards last season with 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Led the team to the NFC Conference Championship. Kyle Shanahan does not care. He's given the keys to Trey Lance. Can Lance mimic a similar regular season? And will they make the playoffs?
Wow. This is a fun team just making San Francisco is a strange team. They went Super Bowl to bottom of the dumpster all the way to they went one of the worst teams in the league to Super Bowl, NFC champion, to one of the worst teams in the league to NFC championship loser, runner up. Are they going to go back to the bottom of the league again, or are they going to be in the NFC championship? Seems like it's one or the other. Let's pull up the schedule. Wow, here we go. I'm excited because I'm gonna start with this. I am making these decisions based on the idea that Trey Lance is equal to Garoppolo, or it is Garoppolo playing. That's the attitude I'm going to have. Because if Trey Lance is not as good as Garoppolo, I'll assume Garoppolo plays, and he will be, Garoppolo level player. And if Garoppolo is not playing, then Trey Lance is playing equally or better. So I'll assume that they're just playing Garoppolo level football. That's the only way I can do it. It's going to be hard for me to judge these games like, week 1, Trey Lance is going to be a little young, and in week 3, he'll be a little bit older. Either way, week 1 at Chicago, 75% chance. Start with 75 at Chicago. Start strong. Feel good. Even away. Week 2, hosting Seattle, 100% chance. They're going to get their revenge on Seattle, who they surprisingly lost 2 games to. Had the division record 2-4, beat the Rams twice, lost to Seattle and Arizona twice each, which is really odd. Week 3 at Denver. Russell Wilson coming in. He owns the 49ers. 50%. And I will take Denver in this one. Will Russell Wilson continue to own the 49ers, Bill, in week 3?
I had that as a 50-50, but I think that San Francisco gets it done in Denver.
Oh, wow. Still getting used to the high altitude for Wilson in week 3. Is that a big factor for you?
Yeah, I think that they gave up a lot to get Wilson. He didn't have that great of a season last season with Seattle. Mm-hmm. So I think that there's definitely going to be some growing pains.
All right. Week 4, hosting the Rams.
Hot pick.
That is a hot pick. They swept them last year. What are you thinking for week 4, 2022?
This is going to be a good one. Monday Night Football week 4 at home versus the Rams. Right now the line is even. Last season the Rams bounced the 49ers in the fourth quarter comeback to go on to win the Super Bowl. San Fran is not happy. They're going to prove that they should have the Lombardi trophy. It was theirs. It was stolen from them.
Yeah.
San Francisco wins at home, and they will be 1-3 and first in the division.
Ooh. All right. First in the division from 1-3. 3-1.
I'm sorry, 3-1.
The story
this morning.
Yeah, the story on that was going to be unbelievable if they were going to be 1-3 and head of the division, assuming that every other team lost as well. Impossibly, because they play Seattle. But I would love it. I'd love to hear the numbers on your guys there. Either way, I would assume the Rams start off 0-4. Yeah, I'm gonna go 50-50 on this, and I'll take the revenge win on the 49ers as well at home. Week 5 at Carolina. We'll go with 75%. I don't feel strong enough away against Carolina. Baker Mayfield, he'll play better. Defense is good there. They'll keep the game close enough, but in the end, 49ers are going to win 75%. Week 6 at Atlanta. This one's going to go 100%. They're then going to move to the other NFC South team, and they're going to take the cake 100%. Week 7, hosting Kansas City. Let's go 50-50. Kansas City takes the tilt. Do you see this as a 50-50? And who do you got in this, Bill?
I have this also as a 50-50. I think that coming off that game with Atlanta, the way that this season is shaping up right now, I think that San Francisco is going to be cruising, and I think that they can win at home against Kansas City in this.
So you're looking at a 6-1 going into their second matchup with the Rams. All right. Week 8 at Rams. I'm going to keep it at a 50-50, but I'll just give it to the home team on this one. Rams will take it. Week 9 bye. Week 10 hosting the Chargers. Man, there's a lot of 50-50s on this. They have a hard schedule. They're a good team, but they have a hard schedule. We'll stick with 50-50. And I guess I'll take the Chargers. I don't know. It's such a toss-up. I like the Chargers better. I like their quarterback better, obviously, and their defense has improved. Bill, Chargers, 49ers in San Francisco?
Coming off a bye and at home, I'm going to give it to San Francisco.
All right. Week 11 at Arizona. My goodness. This is just 50-50 all over. Yeah, 50%. I mean, I don't see them as a far superior team to Arizona. They got swept by them last year. Arizona's good. I'll do Arizona at home. Week 12, Notre Dame, New Orleans. I don't know why I thought Notre Dame on that NO. Hosting New Orleans, let's do 75%. They are the better team. Week 13, hosting Miami. This is definitely an in-between 75 and a 50. I'll go 50 and then give it to San Francisco. Bill, were you a 75 on this, or are you a 50-50 as well?
I was a 50-50. I am a 50-50. It should be interesting if it's Tua versus Trey Lance.
Yeah.
It should be a good game. I would probably give the upper hand to San Francisco.
Cool. Yeah. Yes, I agree. Week 14, hosting Tampa Bay. Let's go with a hot pick. Let's go with that hot pick. Why is it a hot pick? Tom Brady coming into town against his old backup. Maybe.
Yeah.
Playing as a backup.
We'll see.
Returned backup. Yeah, what do we got here from you?
Yep. At home, hosting Tampa Bay. The line on this one is also even. Will Jimmy G be the starter of this game, or is Trey Lance knocking on 10 wins at this point in this season? It doesn't matter. San Francisco cannot handle Tom Brady. Tom is going to be Tom. He's going to dominate this game. Tampa Bay wins by 10.
Add on top of that, Tom Brady's also coming home. He's from the Bay Area, so that's him coming back home. He's going to play in from his childhood team. Yeah, he's going to take this one 50-50. Brady wins, though, in a close one. I'd like them to start Garoppolo just because of the Tom Brady connection, Keep the storylines raised. A little bit of a WWE situation there. It'd be more fun. The NFL could take a lesson. Week 15 at Seattle. 100. I think Seattle's abysmal, and San Francisco is just going to finish it out. They're also going to be a solid cold weather team at Seattle week 15. If it's raining or something like that, they've got that great running game. 20-plus rushing touchdowns, 22 rushing touchdowns, 2,100 yards. They've got that really good run by committee. Shanahan leads that team. They'll crush Seattle. Week 16, hosting Washington. I'll give that a 75%. Week 17 at the Raiders, I'll go 50%. I think I'll take the Niners in this one. But it's definitely, that's a hard pick. Bill, hard pick on week 17 there.
I like the Raiders at the end of the season in that one. I also had 50-50, but I would probably take the Raiders.
All right. Week 18, Arizona, 2 teams vying for a wild card or possibly the division. 50-50, and the Niners will take it. I say the Niners just barely beat out Arizona in this game. All right, let's run through this odds, add everything up, bring it on up. Here we go. Let's see it. Okay. Wow. Okay, Joe, Mr. Pants Picks. Apparently you're a Niners fan. I love Shanahan. He's done everything in the best way. I don't think Garoppolo's a great quarterback, and he's taken him to the Super Bowl. He's a coach who's been able to really pull greatness out of a team that has good players. I mean, Nick Bosa's obviously good, and they got fast running backs, and Garoppolo's not terrible. The defense is very good at third. But I really like the way that he handles everything. I love the way he handles the running game. Takes a lot of pressure off of his quarterbacks, but takes a lot of pressure off the running backs. Doesn't rely on one running back at all, and they just get it done. I really enjoy that. I feel like with Shanahan as the coach, that steady hand's going to keep this team winning and always winning. They have a very cake beginning, and they're going to have a shot in every game. Outside of the only reason I wouldn't bet the over on this is because they play so many toss-up games. I mean, Miami toss-up, Tampa Bay, Raiders, Arizona, Chargers, Cardinals, Rams, Chiefs, Rams, Denver. I mean, wow, that's a lot of toss-up games. And if they are slipping close matchups, they're not winning close games, losing them at the last second, Brady gets the ball last and he wins that game, and Murray gets the ball last and he wins that game, Stafford gets the ball last. A lot of those games could be whoever has the ball last and whether or not the Niners defense can hold them off, or if Jimmy G or Trey Lance can actually muster up a clutch win, because a lot of these games are probably going to be pretty close. But they do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games that I feel they're really confidently going to win, which puts them, already right there. They just got to split the rest of them. But it's 11 isn't strong either because it's so many 50%. So I don't know if I actually do confidently bet the over. I think you could do it, but I don't know if you feel like this is so gung-ho, like, oh, no problem, take it. Because the strength of schedule is very high, and that's why there's so many 50-50s. Bill, you taking the over on this, or is your 0.75 not enough?
Yeah, I don't think it's enough. I would be concerned that they move Jimmy Garoppolo during the season just to have, it might be a little bit of a mirage if they start out the season. Yeah, I mean, potentially they could they could be 6-0 going into week 7. And if that's the case, they might try to move Garoppolo. Then all of a sudden, Trey Lance comes back down to earth. They have a really tough stretch after that. And they might kind of, hinder themselves of thinking that they have the future, the franchise. And then all of a sudden the team just falls apart. So I could see them just as easily going over as I could see them going under and only ending up with 6 wins, starting out strong and then crumbling and falling apart.
I see them as a team that, if Trey Lance falls off and they don't have Garoppolo to steady the ship in any way, towards the end of the season, you could really lose. And like you said, they could start off 6-0, and it would not be surprising if they were 6-4. KC, Rams, Chargers, Arizona, at Arizona too, and at Rams. That's a really difficult stretch against very good quarterbacks and good teams, Super Bowl contenders. And next thing you know, they're 6-4 going into week 12, and it's like, what the heck happened? We were 6-0. And then, yeah, they can take that one from New Orleans and maybe Miami, but then it's just right back to Tampa Bay, couple wins, and then 17-18 aren't cakewalks either. Next thing you know, it's only 9 wins is what I think that ends up being. 8. Yeah, maybe 9. I guess that still kind of gets them to 10. But, yeah, I don't see them, outside of Trey Lance, just completely bombing. I do not see them becoming a 6-win team. I think it's better to bet the over for sure. But that's a lot of difficult games, and sometimes the ball can just not bounce your way. It really could. And with a young quarterback that could kind of slip up in turnovers and things like that, maybe he fumbles. You know, he can be running around trying to play some hero ball or something like that. He's a great athlete. Maybe he'd fumble, maybe throw a pick late in games. He definitely doesn't have the hasn't proven a clutch ability, and with so many close games, maybe he's not clutch and he misses out, and they only end up winning 8 games or so with Trey Lance, even if he looks good. But let us know what you think. You think Trey Lance is going to take the next step and become 2020 Josh Allen? Physical specimen with a missile for an arm, leading his team to 13 wins in a division championship. How do you see Trey Lance, Trey Lance's season fleshing out, or do you see them just going back to Garoppolo, steadying the ship, and then I could still see them winning 10 games? Maybe that's what you see, and you kind of agree with what we got coming on here. Or do you think they're going to be the best? You think they're going to be worse? You think they're going to continue their trend of being really good in the NFC Championship and then really bad in getting a top 10 pick? Let us know. Write it in the comments. Go through their season, 0%, 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%. Make a judgment in each game. Get your total. Post in the comments. Let us know what happened. Tell us your hot picks, your favorite games to look forward to in the season, ones you're definitely going to be turning on and watching. And as always, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.